All right, today we're going to be learning about Phaleg, the Olympian spirit known as the Lord of Mars and is considered the Prince of Peace. All right, let's do this. The name Phaleg carries with it echoes of ancient Greek, hinting at a history interlaced with martial themes and warlike prowess, stemming from the phrase Phalangai, which translates to divisions of armies. The etymology of Phaleg is a nod to organized military might and the strategies of war. This linguistic linkage is far from superficial, as the name Phaleg itself is intrinsically connected to one of the most formidable deities of antiquity, Mars, the god of war. Mars, known to the Greeks as Ares, personified the raw energy of warfare, embodying the spirit of battle and conflict. In ancient lore, he was both feared and revered, a complex figure representing the necessary force in the protection and expansion of civilization, yet also the chaos that such conflicts bring. Phaleg's association with Mars extends beyond the mere symbolism of war. To the ancients, names were not just labels. They were conduits of power, descriptors that captured the essence of the entity they represented. In this sense, Phaleg's name is a verbal embodiment of the spirit of Mars, commanding, martial, and indomitable. Historically, the origins of such a name is an attempt to unravel the continuities of cultural transmission that have persisted through time. It's a decryption of the ways in which the attributes of figures like Mars have permeated collective consciousness, taking on new shapes and titles like Phaleg in their passage through the annals of time. The Greeks and Romans, societies with a pronounced veneration for the art of war, allowed figures like Mars and Phaleg to ascend into their pantheons and spiritual practices, echoing the significance of military discipline and bravery. Phaleg's martial embodiment is not merely an artifact of history, but also serves as a metaphor for the ongoing human struggles encountered in individual endeavors. Just as armies of old marched forth under the banner of Phaleg, guided by strategies and a desire to overcome, so too do individuals today tap into that ancient wellspring of courage and vigor when facing their own battles. So the name and origin of Phaleg serves as a powerful symbol, a lineage of valor extending from the mythic to the mortal, from the celestial arenas where gods clash with titans, down to the very real human experience of confronting adversity with strength and tenacity. In history and myth, Phaleg stands as a formidable force governing the aspects of war and conflict. His name alone conjures images of ancient battlefields and strategic confrontations. Phaleg's influence is far-reaching, touching on the very essence of warfare, instilling those engaged in battle with the much-needed virtues of courage and fortitude. At the heart of Phaleg's domain is the intrinsic human condition of struggle and the quest for victory, a theme as old as time itself. In times where might was right and territories were won through the clashing of swords and shields, Phaleg's presence was invoked to tip the scales of combat. His role was not just as a bystander of war, but as a potentate who infused soldiers with the valor to face their adversaries, the discipline to hold the line, and the wisdom to know when to strike or retreat. The narratives and texts of old often depict Phaleg as a guiding hand for those who faced insurmountable odds, providing a beacon of light in the tumultuous sea of warfare. It is said that his influence helped shape the outcomes of many historic skirmishes, not through direct intervention, but through the bolstering of spirits and the strengthening of resolve. Leaders in ancient times, aware of Phaleg's potent influences, would seek his favor with rituals and offerings, hoping to secure his blessings for strength in upcoming conflicts. But Phaleg's reach extended beyond the battlefield. His impartation of courage was also thought to be critical in day-to-day endeavors that required a fighting spirit. Whether it was standing up to societal injustices or pushing forward through personal adversities, the invocation of Phaleg aimed to provide the inner armor needed to confront these challenges with a warrior spirit. His indelible mark on the psyche of civilizations is clear. Phaleg is a symbol of the enduring human will to overcome, persevere, and rise victorious against the trials of life. This powerful essence, it seems, is what makes Phaleg's role and influence a stalwart element in the mosaic of our collective historical and mythological understanding. The influence of the celestial is often felt more deeply than we perceive, and nowhere is this more evident than in the case of Phaleg's astrological connections. Phaleg is connected to Mars, the red planet known both in astronomy and mythos for its fiery energy and bold spirit. This linkage is not simply a matter of symbolic fancy, but a profound astrological relationship that impacts the very core of martial energies. In astrology, Mars is the harbinger of energy, drive, and desire. It is the force that propels us into action, often associated with assertiveness and aggression. Phaleg, as an embodiment of Mars's essence, is believed to harness these dynamic energies to influence matters of conflict and valor. He is the celestial force that imparts the aggressive push often needed in warlike scenarios. It's not just about war in the conventional sense. We speak of battles in our daily lives, struggles for justice, and personal conquests for honor. When astrologers and practitioners look to the skies, they observe the position and movement of Mars to determine auspicious timing for martial activities. They align their actions with the planet's placement, seeking the favor of Phaleg when Mars is prominently placed in the heavens. This timing is no random choice, rather it is steeped in the understanding of planetary hours, a system which pegs specific hours of the day to different celestial bodies, each amplifying certain energies more than others. On Tuesdays, a day named after Tu or Tyr, the Norse god of war, the connection to Mars and Phaleg is deemed particularly strong. In this tradition, the day holds a heightened potential for addressing conflict, for it is when Phaleg's influence is believed to be the strongest. It's a time deemed most potent for invoking Phaleg's vigor, a period that can tip the scales in matters that require fortitude and bravery. But we also have to remember, astrology is not a deterministic science, but a complex dialogue between the cosmos and the terrestrial. The energies of Mars, channeled through the entity of Phaleg, offer an opportunity to align human intention with the vigorous force of the universe. Through this celestial guidance, one may find the courage to act decisively, the power to overcome adversity, and the valor to pursue one's aspirations with renewed vigor. As we venture through the cycles of our lives, understanding these astrological connections helps us recognize the moments where the martial spirit of Phaleg is most accessible, granting us a cosmic ally in our terrestrial endeavors. How we harness this force with the wisdom of timing and the knowledge of the stars can make all the difference in our personal and collective quests for success and mastery over the challenges we face. In the realm of magical practices, we encounter the formidable presence of Phaleg, a figure deeply intertwined with sentiments of power and triumph. Time-honored traditions recognize Phaleg as an entity whose aid is sought in the anticipation of strength, the assurance of victory, and the shield against foes. In the art of magic, where intentions shape realities, Phaleg is called upon with reverence and strategic ceremony. Practitioners of these arcane rites often recount the vitality and dominance that Phaleg's essence embodies. It's not unusual to see elaborate rituals crafted with the sole aim to harness the vigorous energies that Phaleg is believed to govern. These rituals, replete with ancient symbols and meticulously chosen words of power, become vehicles through which supplicants can request Phaleg's favor in their personal battles, be they literal or metaphorical. The invocation of Phaleg extends beyond mere recitation. It involves a symbiosis of will, a precise alignment with the martial spirit that Phaleg encapsulates. This ceremonial act is believed to lay down the spiritual groundwork for overcoming challenges, facing adversaries with an unyielding spirit, and securing one's desired outcome amidst the turmoils of life's conflicts. Often, such rites should be shrouded in layers of secrecy, passed down through esoteric lineages or glanced at in the dog-eared pages of grimoires that whisper of ancient knowledge. The figure of Phaleg would be evoked with the expectation that, like a celestial general, he would marshal the forces of the arcane in favor of those who correctly petition his power. The protection sought through Phaleg is a testament to the human desire for a guardian mightier than the visible forces arrayed against them. Through the invocation of Phaleg, the hope for the metaphysical barrier rises, a barrier that is believed to repel negativity and ward off the malice of adversaries. Centuries have altered the landscape of belief, but the echoes of Phaleg's name still resonates within the clandestine chambers where modern practitioners gather, bound by the same search for an elusive strength of victory over the travails they face, and the hedging of safety against the unknown elements that threaten their tranquility. In the timeless dance of magical practice, Phaleg remains a mighty ally called upon in moments of need. In the cosmic order of the Arbitel, Phaleg is identified as one of the pivotal Olympian spirits. Each of these spirits presides over a celestial body that, in turn, governs distinct aspects of our world, and Phaleg's dominion is none other than the fiery red planet Mars. So as we examine this celestial hierarchy, think about a cosmic court. where each entity has its unique role and power. Phaleg stands as the commander, wielding martial authority with the decisive energy befitting a deity associated with Mars. His position is like a high-ranking officer in the spiritual realm, charged with overseeing war and aggression, alongside the imparting of strength and courage to those who seek such traits. Centuries of tradition have given rise to various symbolic representations of Phaleg, each echoing his mighty role. Often he's depicted clad in resplendent armor, as if ready to march into battle. In artistic renditions, he may bear weapons, perhaps maybe a spear or shield, emphasizing his martial prowess. These representations aim to evoke not merely the appearance but the very essence of Phaleg's spirit, a visage that conveys power, bravery, and strategic genius. But throughout history, these symbols have done more than decorate pages or inspire imagery. They've served as focal points for invocation, aids for the devoted to visualize and call upon Phaleg's formidable qualities. Whether it's in meditative practices or ritualistic magic, these icons act as gateways to accessing the Olympian spirit's influence. And while our modern world may no longer construct the grand temple of yore, the marks of Phaleg's lofty place within the spiritual order persist. Even today, in esoteric communities, Phaleg is recognized and honored for his ancient and robust connection to Mars, as well as for his enduring sovereignty over the elemental forces of war and fortitude. This exploration of Phaleg's hierarchical standing and traditional depictions leads us to a deeper appreciation for the intricate ways ancient cultures have sought to understand and depict the intangible forces at play in our universe. The moments we choose to conduct certain activities can sometimes carry significant importance, and this is particularly true in the realm of the mystical. For those who turn to the arcane, timing can be critical, and invoking the spirit of Phaleg is no exception to this. Traditional practices underline the specific moments when Phaleg's influence is at its zenith. Mars, a celestial body emblematic of vigor and conflict, plays a pivotal role in this timing. In astrology, every day is split into planetary hours, each hour holding the essence of a different celestial body. In the case of Phaleg, whose powers are intertwined with the characteristics of Mars, the hours ruled by this fiery planet are deemed the most potent for invocations. These Martian hours occur daily, but their occurrence is not bound to the same clock time every day. Rather, it varies according to the sunrise and sunset of a particular location. Calculating these hours is a practice in and of itself, requiring meticulous attention to the movements of the sun and, in turn, Mars. Beyond the daily planetary hours, there are also entire days that take on the energy of a specific planet. Martian days, which are Tuesdays for most Western traditions, elevate the fiery energy that Phaleg embodies. It's not a mere coincidence that Tuesday, or Martes in Spanish, for instance, takes its name directly from Mars, further highlighting the connection across cultures and reflecting the global resonance of the celestial timing. Why does this matter for those seeking Phaleg's favor? Well, the answer is, it's in the principle that like attracts like. By timing their rituals to correspond with Mars, practitioners believe they are aligning themselves more closely with Phaleg's martial might. In times past, warriors and strategists may have looked to Phaleg during these hours and days, seeking his aid for success in imminent battles or challenges. They would perform rituals, offer prayers, and perhaps even plan their strategies according to the calendar that paid homage to the god of war's representative spirit. Today, even as the old battlefields have faded into memory, the practice endures among those who look to the stars for guidance. They regard these moments as auspicious for harnessing the assertive and dynamic energies Phaleg is known to wield. In essence, the practice of timing invocations during Martian hours and days is an enduring testament to the influence of celestial bodies on mystical traditions. It encapsulates an awareness of the universe's rhythm, enriching spiritual practices with an astronomical dimension that is as logical as it is esoteric. The cultural and spiritual footprint of Phaleg is as enduring as it is profound. Through history, Phaleg has been a guiding force, not just in mythical context, but also in shaping the representations of martial power across various cultures. In time of societal strife, or when leadership was paramount, individuals have looked to the embodiment of Phaleg for inspiration. His portrayal of strength and strategic acumen was not just for conquering enemies, but for navigating through tumultuous periods with courage and decisiveness. The personification of war, often spurred by Phaleg's archetype, finds itself prominently in art, literature, and lore. In these representations, the imagery of armor-clad warriors, steadfast and formidable, reflects the indomitable spirit of Phaleg. This figure, often seen wielding weapons with proficiency, stands as a cultural symbol of unyielding fortitude and martial expertise. Spiritually, Phaleg's influence transcends the mere aspects of conflict. It encapsulates the broader, more nuanced qualities of leadership and resolve. Throughout the annals of time, historical leaders have been paralleled with the virtues of Phaleg, recognized for their strategic values as much for their combat skills. In rituals and practices that span times and territories, the invocation of Phaleg's spirit has served as a conduit for empowerment. This ancient figure is a beacon for those seeking the courage to face adversities and the power to uphold justice. The enduring legacy of Phaleg's martial virtues continues to resonate within our cultural fabric, not just a relic of the past, but as a perennial source of strength and guidance. His myth, once rooted in the art of war, now extends into the art of living boldly, symbolizing the eternal human quest for triumph over life's challenges. Reflecting on Phaleg's origins, roles, and the robust influence he has exerted on cultural perceptions of warfare, leadership, and strategy, it's clear that his legacy is deeply entrenched in martial tradition. From the astrological alignments to the protocols for invoking his power, we've pretty much covered a vast array of knowledge for today. So I really appreciate everything that you guys have done. I appreciate all the listeners and everything. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.